It's an honor to induct this legend into our Hall of Fame. Our next inductee is Mr. Bill Novak, represented tonight by his daughter, Kim. I also believe that Holly and Carrie, his other children, are here with us. Okay?
I'd like to congratulate all the people here tonight being inducted into Ottawa's Hall of Fame. What an honor this is. The rest of us are delighted to be here to share in your tribute. Folks are selected for this distinction because in word or deed, in innovations in their field, or extraordinary caring of their fellow man, the honorees have shown a noteworthy degree of leadership. The world is a better place, and we have the option to be better people because of them, and I can't think of any better reason to celebrate. I'm truly thrilled that my dad was selected to be inducted this year, the 20th year after his death. There is one Bill Novak grandchild, my daughter Caitlin, who is a junior this year at OHS. Bill's 3 grandsons, Billy, Brian, and Andy, are recent grads of this school, so it's a pretty special night for them. Billy, Andy, and Brian were all very young when Dad died, and his granddaughters, Caitlin and Ann, were not yet born. So tonight is a great opportunity for them to get to know a bit more about the legend that was Bill Novak. Please feel free to share your stories with them. I, like brother Kerry and sister Holly, had the opportunity to know Dad as the coach. Kerry played football for him, and Holly and I were members of the OHS marching band. How exciting those autumn Friday nights were. Fresh breezes off the river and the aroma of hot popcorn permeated the air. The chant of cheerleaders, the swish of pom-poms, the shrill whistling commands of the drum majors, the chatter of the crowded stadium, the drum cadence of the marching band, they all filled our ears. Then the baby blue, red and white uniforms exploded in, grim, determined, a helmeted horde ready to rumble. Next came the coaches, one in particular, whose green eyes sparked excitement. He was known as Coach Novak, the coach, Jehovah, Wild Bill, Boom Boom, and I'm sure there were probably other less polite names at times. It was the Pirates' Coach Novak that caused unease and fear in the rival team coaches and the refs, wondering what outrageous shenanigans he would be up to in this game. It was the Pirates' Coach Novak that caused glee and anticipation in the Ottawa fans, wondering what outrageous shenanigans he'd be up to in this game. It was Coach Novak that started the Root Hog or Die tradition here at OHS. Now, Root Hog or Die to Bill Novak was not a suggestion to politely do well, boys. It was a battle roar. It was a scream challenge. It was a snarled warning to the other side that this was a team to be reckoned with. I can still smell and hear and feel that glorious excitement of those decades past games, and I know I share those cherished memories with many of you. That was the gale wind force that was Coach Novak. Being a child of Bill Novak, I thought of Dad as being something primarily more than a coach. Now, as heretical and gaspy as that thought might be, that's what I really want to talk about tonight. The coach was, I believe, first and foremost, the finest team player that I will ever know. Bill Novak believed to the marrow of his bones in the power and the rightness of team play. He knew that a group of well-trained, hard-working, respectful individuals could do incredible things together. He saw a team as an integrated whole where each member had an equal value. That core belief in cooperative team spirit guided him in the 3 major teams that I saw him play on as I grew up. One team that Bill Novak was a delighted member of was Team OHS. He was very proud of the football program, of course. He was equally puffed up about the other sports programs, the speech team, the debaters, the FFA and other clubs, the student council, the thespians, just to name a few. He was enormously proud of OHS's music programs. How poignant that he is being inducted along with Miss Rathmeyer and Mr. Am, those mighty inheritors of Mr. McKeever's and Mr. Moose's talented batons. He was proud of the co-op program, the shop program, and Mr. Redden's special ed kids. He was honestly thrilled to be a co-worker of the fine custodians, the administration, his fellow teachers, and the lunchroom crew. Now, theoretically, he felt that all parts of the team were equal, but I often suspected that the lunchroom gals were just a shade higher in his estimation. In short, Bill Novak boisterously and joyfully supported any group that worked hard together and did their best at his school. He was so happy with the student body of OHS. He had a magical talent for motivating adolescents, whether on the football field or in the classroom. He had that unexplainable, enviable knack for reaching out to troubled teens and persuading them to make better choices. Of course he'd reach out to these kids. They were, after all, part of his OHS team. That was the strength of purpose that was Bill Novak. The second team that Bill Novak was a great player on was our local community. He saw the many, many jobs in our town as positions of a large team that makes up a society. When I graduated with my DVM, you know, a bit smug and a bit self-satisfied, well, Dad told me I'd have a swell future, so now I'm feeling really smug and really satisfied. But he said I'd have a swell future if I understood that I would never be more important than the persons who picked up our trash, that maintained our water and sewer systems, that grew our food, that trucked our goods, that laid the bricks, that policed our streets, etc., etc., etc. In other words, I better not get too uppity since I was one small member on a very large team. He felt exactly the same way about his role in this community. That was the humility and practicality that was Bill Novak. The ultimate team we all prepared for, in Dad's opinion, was our family teams. Schools, sports, clubs, organizations, all of them were but preparation for the most important role of all society, and that is as a responsible adult in our own families. Lessons learned in the mud and blood of a football field were meant to help meet the challenges of adult life. Teamwork mastered on King Field would help create adults pledged to the nurturing of their own families. Good team members were to become good parents, which would help establish an excellent society. That's the really glorious plan that every good coach, teacher, and mentor has. As a member of Family Team Novak, Bill played all positions with equal enthusiasm. He was a coach and he laid down the law to us when needed. Believe me, the football field was not the only place those amazing green eyes shot sparks. He cheerfully co-captained with our mom, his beloved Bernadine. He also pitched in to scrub floors, cook meals, help with math, pretty up the 4-H sheet, critique English papers, go camping, go ice skating, roller skating all as our teammate. He had an astonishing amount of enthusiasm and energy and a non-stop wicked sense of humor. I think it's pretty easy and important to salute the legacy of the coach. Whenever you find yourself in an impossible situation, growling past clenched teeth, half prayer and half curse, root hog or die, just to help you through, you remember the coach. Every time you reach out to a member of one of the teams you all play on, to help, to teach, or to comfort, well, you honor the coach then. And when you understand that each member of your team is as important as any other, by golly, then you're smart enough to be your own coach. In conclusion, I'd like to thank some pretty important people. Thank you to Mr. Ann and Ms. Reckmeyer, and all the present-day coaches, teachers, and mentors of our young people. Most of us in our daily grind work on today's problems and chores. You folks craft our future. I hope every single day you're able to feel our appreciation and our admiration. We certainly can't forget to acknowledge the huge contribution to the football program of Dad's coaching staff. To name a few, Ralph Nelson, Dean Riley, Ron Slack, Bob Radonis, Gary Bansell, Larry Miller, June Gross, Art Adams, Jim Sutherland, Bob Johnson, and others. Dad simply couldn't have done it without them. Thanks also to the wonderful OTHS football team of 66. Fellas, do you think you could stand up for me? Let's take a look at you here. Years and years of working with young men like them made my dad the happiest guy in the world. He often said no one in the universe had more fun in a job than he did. We've noted that Bill Novak had an uncanny talent for reaching out to young people, but without his teams reaching back with respect, with affection, and with a willingness to work hard, without that reaching back, there couldn't have been such OHS football magic. Much gratitude from all of us for those thrilling Friday nights. The Hall of Fame Committee and the OHS Educational Foundation have brought us together to celebrate the memory of this remarkably warm, generous, inspiring man, our dad and grandfather, Coach Bill Novak. From the bottom of Team Novak's hearts, we thank you so very much.